All right. So, I don't know. Should we just get started? There's
Sounds
a
good.
cutscene at the beginning, so. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I forgot. Yeah.
You can count down now.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Yeah. So there's a cutscene at the beginning, so we can sort of introduce the run. But obviously, this is a co-op run, which co-op does actually save time here. So this is one of the cool instances of a Lego game where you get to actually see co-op sort of fully being utilized. Yeah, and so I guess just to quickly explain the kind of the goal of the run here, it's essentially like Super Mario Odyssey, which I assume most people have heard of or watched, in the sense that you're going to be traversing through these different worlds to complete the story, and in order to finish the world, you need to unlock a certain amount of purple bricks, which are very similar to the moons in Odyssey. And by collecting those purple bricks, you can complete the world and then move on to another world after you feed the purple bricks into the whatever machine that wants the bricks, I guess. And at the very end, you finish the last world, by, I guess, I'm not really sure what in the story you're trying to do, but in the last world, you're trying to save Batman, and I guess you'll sort of see it. Yeah. So you'll see it as it goes along.
Is going to be player 1 on the left, and to start this first world, they are just kind of progressing through this first story part. They unlock the builder page, which they're going to be able to build objects with in the future to do skips with, as well as they're collecting these like little Lego bricks, which those are what's used to purchase the different objects in the builder page. And they'll need...
You can see in the top left, real quick, before they start gathering them, it says 0 out of 12, and T-Fresh is going to collect the first brick here. And now it's at 1 out of 12. So those 12 bricks, those are what we're going to be kind of focusing on throughout each world. That's sort of like the main objective.
And also some quick just tech breakdowns. You'll see that, I think you saw it a little bit on the right side, which is T-Fresh. He was doing some roll cancels, which essentially you're just rolling and then unequipping an item in your inventory to essentially cancel the animation at the end of the roll and then constantly keep rolling. And I think we also missed it, but there was a triple jump done by T-Fresh as well to get the first purple brick, which, just like any other Lego game.
Those are like the two movement tech pieces that you'll really see. There's a couple other things, but the mainstays are triple jumping and roll canceling, and you're going to see that pretty much everywhere.
And I think we also saw one of the more, I wouldn't call it more niche, but I think it's one of the more commonly used ones. Chimkin got movement during that cutscene when the gate was opening. You're able to kind of mash attack while the cutscenes are going and get movement. T-Fresh is going to drop out quickly here as Chimkin is going to be going on the left side. You'll see him. There's a triple jump he does that skips a 15-minute boss fight here. However, you wouldn't even know that if you didn't know the game, because there's misses at first try, but
misses at once. Yeah, some of these are a little precise just because all the collision in this game is like very weirdly jagged. And T-Fresh is actually also doing a skip here to skip some of that parkour section, and he actually gets a first try, so that's nice.
Yeah, so essentially their goal right now is Chimkin is heading towards the brick loader, which is what the end of every world is, where you load in the required amount of bricks to exit, while T-Fresh is going around and collecting what the quick bricks are in the world. So Chimkin's getting a few along the way, while T-Fresh is getting some of the quicker ones that are out of the way. T-Fresh dying a few times here, trying to get one that's like under this bridge. There it is.
There we go. And so we can leave World 1 now. Apocalypseburg is what this one is called, as you can see there. And they're now able to fast travel to the second world. And this is a very, very, very fast one.
And I guess to speak on the co-op again, as much as I'd like to hype up the Lego runners and how good we are at 1P2C, the way that this category is played, there's just no way that someone could 1P2C as fast as two people are going to be co-oping in this specific game.
Yeah.
And I guess
this is a vehicle here that we have, because this is important. This is the first time we use it, I believe. It's called the
Ultra Kitty.
Ultra Kitty? Yeah, that's right. And that's going to be important later on. We're going to actually use that for a couple like skips. But one main thing you'll see now that we've sort of introduced all the like movement tech is that a lot of the glitches and skips that we're going to be using will revolve around the items that we're building. So when you have these bricks that you can see on the left side of the screen here, the different colored bricks allow you to build these different items, and building items is going to allow you to sort of sequence break a lot of stuff, because you can actually interact with the items physically by like jumping on them.
Yeah, so this second world is essentially just getting to a shop to purchase more bricks and then building that little home to finish the story part. So really very little going on there. It's essentially a lot of setup for later worlds and later skips.
And I think this world is a good example of the way that T-Fresh is sort of being used in this run as the second player, where Chimkin is sort of going to be progressing through the main story here, I guess you could call it, or just trying to get to the end of the level. And rather than grabbing the bricks, what we're going to do is have T-Fresh call in, because when you call in this game, you'll call in right on top of where your other player is. And he's going to go grab a brick and then drop out. And then we're going to do that, a bunch of times to grab all the bricks sort of on the way. And you can see T-Fresh just did it there. And the nice thing about this game is that, unlike a lot of other LEGO games, pretty much most other LEGO games, you can just drop out by pressing the call-in button, and it instantly drops you out.
So I believe what's coming up is going to be a pretty cool skip using the Ultra Kitty, which we saw earlier, after a little bit of platforming here. This is just kind of some auto-scrolling gameplay, but Chimkin's going to hop onto the Ultra Kitty when it is going down a slope, and if you time when you jump off correctly, it gives you like a lot of horizontal movement, so he's going to be able to launch and kind of skip a large portion of the parkour here.
Yeah, and this works because you're building up horizontal momentum by getting the Ultra Kitty stuck on the slope, and it'll start sliding, and it'll be pretty obvious like why this is happening once you see it happen.
So yeah, some more parkour here. This is a little one try.
He's gonna go for a triple jump.
Oh, he almost hit the one try.
And yeah, so you can just do a backup. It's not like it saves a ton of time, but yeah.
That would have been a cool one to see. But there's a little bridge cutscene that's going to play here. He's going to be able to get some attack movement to get a brick in the corner and then move back to the bridge after he grabs the brick.
So yeah, he can direct himself during these attacks, but it's obviously very difficult because you can't see your character.
We'll see T-Fresh back here in a second to go grab some bricks on the side. Well, Chimkin's going to grab a few along the way, but he's going to jump over this wall here, which will get him pretty close to the
a little bit more platforming
to the end here.
Yeah, and so the launch is coming up very, very soon now.
It's right here on the slope.
Yep, and you'll see when it happens. You probably can't sort of guess what's going to happen, but it's very, very interesting how the like velocity works here, and it works first try. That's a really good launch. So yeah, you saw he just got sort of horizontally completely launched over to the other island, sort of conserving the momentum that the Ultra Kitty had, and that saves quite a bit of time.
There's T-Fresh getting the last brick, and actually this brick loader is kind of cool. The hitbox of it, you can start loading in the purple bricks from below, which, yeah, so you're like, how did it end? Chimkin loaded in all 10 bricks from below just because the hitbox extends down there.
Now, I think this next split is the shortest split, I believe.
Yes.
It's a very, very fast world. And so there's not too much to see here.
Yeah, essentially the whole thing is you talk to this ice cream cone guy, and he gives you a camera, and you take a picture of him. And that's the whole entire thing.
Yep.
really not much going on. As you can see, T-Fresh is just jumping around as Chimkin spams through the dialogue.
If you've ever actually seen the movie, you'll notice that the game does not necessarily adhere to it, perfectly, but some of the cutscenes are a little accurate, I would say. And this next one is conversely, I think, one of the longest splits. This is the Systarian Jungle, and probably one of the most exciting splits in the entire run. I mean, there's a couple things that are going to be happening at once, but I think the first interesting part of this split will kind of be happening on T-Fresh's screen, I believe.
Yeah, so there's a lot of there's a lot of so in each world, right, there's going to be a story portion they have to play through or / skip, and a required amount of bricks. This one is going to be trying to sequence break as much of the story while getting the bricks as well.
But you saw the sequence break that T-Fresh just did there by placing down the satellite and using that to jump over the gate. And so that's going to be a common theme. You're going to see skips like that quite a bit. And that combined with the triple jump tech that we have access to makes it very, very easy to skip a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so the main bit of this world is you got to go to the sun and the moon temples. And the moon temple really isn't much of you can skip. You kind of have to go through that whole story bit, but you'll see a big sequence break in the Sun Temple where... so Chimkin's going to go over to the Moon Temple, and then T-Fresh is going to kind of help him out on a quick task there, but then he's going to start heading towards the Sun Temple, and there's going to be a big sequence break there.
Yeah, by basically completing the temple before you're supposed to have actually started it, when you do end up starting the quest, it kind of gets confused because you've already finished, and then you can just basically be done without having to go inside of the... I don't even know what it is, sort of like a cave, I guess.
I forgot to mention, currently they're going to the unicorn for a paintbrush, which a unique thing about the paintbrush is there's going to be puzzles where, you have to paint object specific colors, and that's going to take time, between selecting colors. But if you turn on the colorblind mode in this game, essentially any puzzle that requires the paintbrush just becomes extremely basic. You just paint it whatever color,
and that's what
and it'll just complete it.
So T-Fresh painted it black, and it just turned into the correct colors.
And so any color puzzle, there's another one coming up here to access the temples. You're just going to be able to completely skip the actual puzzle part and just be able to color it immediately, whatever color,
Now, there's not too much flashy stuff going on here until we get to the actual skip, I guess, but it's a lot of just completing the story how it's, intended to be completed. But here's another colorblind mode usage. You can see he's just painting it all black, and all of a sudden it's, I don't know, purple.
It's completed.
More attack movement.
Out pretty okay so far. Our new friends seemed happy. And
so yeah, here's kind of what I was saying earlier. So Chimkin's going to be heading towards... Well, both of them are going to start at the Moon Temple. T-Fresh is going to help him out briefly with one of the story tasks here. But then T-Fresh will immediately start heading towards the Sun Temple, where he's going to be able to sequence break. There's this kind of underground section that you're required to do, which you'll kind of see a cutscene in a second, or, well, more like in a minute, of what that underground section would have been. But you're going to be able to completely skip that. And now, yeah, you can see T-Fresh is heading towards the Sun Temple over here, where I think you're just kind of able to paint straight through this object. So normally there's a, underground section you need to do to unlock that area, but instead you're just able to kind of go up into it, and then you've completely skipped that part. So when T-Fresh at the end of it goes to the guy who's like, oh, here's your task. You're able to just get the task and then immediately give him the items to complete it. So there's this Moon Temple complete by Chimkin.
Notice we still have 2 more purple bricks to grab as well.
Yeah, so while this is all going on, they're trying to grab as well, you know, here's the underground portion I mentioned of where you would have had to go.
Not do it.
Yeah. So essentially you can see T-Fresh said, oh, this guy, you know, I need these items, and then he's able to immediately give them to him. Completely skipping that temple, essentially.
Yep, and you get 1 purple brick from that guy, I believe. And I think the last one is just on the way over to the brick loader.
Oh, well, they have, obviously there's the Chameleon boss fight coming up as well, which that's one of the more annoying parts. If you were watching the Batman run, it's kind of like the 1P2C boss fights that kind of are a big slowdown from a lot of the tech going on.
There is a few skips, though, in this boss fight.
There's definitely a few small sequence breaks you can do, but nothing really major. As we fight this big Chameleon that's not even in the movie.
Yeah, this is just a completely made-up character, essentially. But one of the skips you'll see does involve the Ultra Kitty, and it's not in the way we've used it already. Essentially, I guess I'll just talk about it now because it'll be confusing when you see it happen. But when the game wants to teleport you places, you know, after or at the start of different camera pans, by standing on the Ultra Kitty, it will decide not to teleport you, and so you can remain in the spot that you are, and you know, sometimes just skipping movement, but other times skipping entire sections.
Yeah, definitely a more niche piece of tech that is going to be utilized a few times. And essentially what's happening now is they're using the paint. Normally they would have to color it a specific color, but you know, with colorblind mode, once again, you're able to skip that portion and paint the spiked pineapples, a color that fools the Chameleon to eating them. There's a little sequence here where he tries to attack Chimkin. All you really got to do is some roll cancels to completely avoid the attacks. And then a few more spiked pineapples will be coming up before the next sequence, which is going to be actually going on to the platform the Chameleon's on.
This section is pretty stale. The rest of the boss fight, I guess, is more interesting because those are where the skips come in. So this nonsensical character that doesn't exist is going to eat that spiked pineapple, and
as you can see,
now you see, he's on the Ultra Kitty here.
Chimkin is he doesn't really have to do anything. He's gonna be waiting for T-Fresh has to climb to the top here and break some batteries, which this is one of the more annoying parts of the run, since the batteries have some finicky targeting to actually get damage on them. So a little bit of parkour movement later here. T-Fresh will reach the top. And now he's going to have to take out these batteries in each corner using the paintbrush.
And yeah, you will notice that a lot of the time it just won't take damage. So he's actually going to punch.
Okay, yeah. That's a little bit more of a safe way of getting some damage.
Oh, okay. No, he's only doing that for the first one. Oh,
well, I think...
Whoa. He actually got every hit there.
I think it's specifically that bottom right one is the finicky one.
Right. Well, you need to be able to attack all of them, I guess.
Yeah.
I will say, he's pretty much hit every single shot so far. I think it's a little worse in the next phase, though.
It will see a return of those batteries.
Yeah. You saw the Ultra Kitty tech there. Chimkin is still down here at the bottom.
Yeah, there was a little sequence where the Chameleon throws the characters in the air, but able to just completely skip that.
skips a whole skydiving section for you to land on the ground here. And I think Chimkin is also about to do a different skip where he is going to sort of sequence break the platforming that he has to do when he gets grabbed by the chameleon. And you'll see that when he's on the chameleon's tongue, he will fall off of it to land essentially where he's trying to go by skipping a bunch of parkour. But not yet, of course, because we have to sit here and wait again.
Yeah, the skip that Chimkin's gonna do, it's essentially just like a timing. You have to hop off of this. I think it's its tail.
Maybe it's.
I think you have to hop off the tail. Well, now, sorry, it's done on the tongue. But yeah, you have to hop off.
So
there it is, and okay.
And he does get it.
Able to land at the right
lenient.
spot. So he was able to skip a lot of the platforming T-Fresh had to do while getting up there. And then he has to do the batteries
Chimkin
again.
will do the batteries. I'm somehow surprised he is not. They haven't.
And also,
there we go.
while that was happening, T-Fresh did cross the gap using a buildable object. And he's going to be using the Ultra Kitty to skip another bit of extra skydiving section.
Sitting on the vehicle to not move. But those batteries were really good, I think.
And the Chameleon character, who's not even in the movie, is now defeated.
I'm not sure if they figured out a more consistent way to hit the batteries, but I will say that definitely saved like a copious amount of time with their PB.
And they got the bridge drop. Yeah, I think there was sometimes it can be finicky where the bridge cutscene doesn't play.
All right, so now they're gonna turn the graphic settings onto high. They've been playing with them on very low for most of the run, which you haven't probably noticed too much. But they need it to be on high, I believe, for a skip in this next world.
Yeah, there's a cutscene that's gonna be skipped by changing the effect settings a specific way. It only saves around 10 seconds, and I know they were saying before the run that it's sometimes finicky. But anyways, we're off to the Justice League world, which is the do the Justice League's chores world.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a sort of like a paradise world or a utopia, I suppose. So yeah, maybe a lack of actual urgency here in this world, just from how it looks. But
yeah, so you have to. Here's Chimkin gonna paint Green Lantern's house, and T-Fresh has to get this lawnmower to Cyborg.
Did we miss the cutscene overlap that they did? I think we did.
We might have. Yeah, we did.
But one thing that you'll notice here on T-Fresh's end is that he can talk to Cyborg, but he's actually not going to yet. He's going to wait just a little bit before he talks to him, just to avoid a potential soft lock. When you do things out of order, the game can start to break, so you want to avoid that.
And then Chimkin's gonna head over to Superman here. He's gonna help clear some rocks. And then that'll get us up to Metalbeard.
Yeah, and he's gonna have to get Metalbeard's head, I believe. And he will give that to T-Fresh, who will then throw the head.
We'd managed to find a way to reach Metalbeard. Hopefully.
First, a little bit of platforming, and then a couple of tricky jumps done there, but well done. And then he's to Metalbeard now, where he's gonna be able to get his head.
Grabbing these purple bricks, of course, on the way, and a lot of that can be done by overlapping the main quest line, I guess, with T-Fresh's movement on the right side.
T-Fresh is just queuing himself up for the next part of the story. Unfortunately, this world, a lot of the story can't be skipped. You gotta just have to play through to get all the bricks.
So we managed to get Metalbeard back.
But so we just did a cutscene overlap there again, I believe.
Isn't exactly what we're
And now we are...
Here's another one. doing the speakers at the same time.
Yeah, gonna do these at the same time. I might have been wrong about the first one. I don't know if that overlapped, but you definitely do it here. And I guess they're not really cutscenes. They're
And
more
now
like
the aliens get angry at the speakers turning off.
Shutting off the music seemed to
yeah,
have
the story here is very questionable.
It wasn't long until someone noticed what we were up to.
But now you have to kill these, I guess, alien guys. And I believe while this is happening, Chimkin is going to help him out and then go over to this blue guy that we just have not yet seen.
Yeah, he's gonna help escort him while
Oh, no, yeah,
T-Fresh
he's behind
goes.
him.
Yeah, so it's gonna be kind of T-Fresh is going towards the brick loader while Chimkin escorts the blue guy for the last purple brick. A few platforming skips that T-Fresh will do here in a minute. As soon as Chimkin finishes the escort here, there's the last purple brick.
Cool. After all that, we didn't want to find out how much weirder this could get.
And then this opens up this massive sun. And then that's
Yeah,
gonna
and
lead to
he's
the
gonna, instead of using the sun, I believe he's gonna just run to the left and using a triple jump, you'll see he is able to jump straight onto that little platform on the left, the vertical platform, I'm not sure what you would call it, the wall, I guess.
and then also skip a little zip line parkour as well at the end, you'll see.
Nicely done.
So here, skipping the zip line right here with a triple jump. And then this will lead to the brick loader.
Chimkin has nothing to do during that section, so
Just hanging out, and that concludes World 6, so 2 worlds to go. Although, these are definitely the longer and more
this next
active
one
worlds.
is very complicated, so a lot of stuff is going to be happening, and essentially they're going to be splitting jobs, but they're going to load into this sort of junkyard, and you'll see on Chimkin's side on the left, he's going to be skipping some stuff by using the moon totem, which is an object that he just got semi-recently to jump over stuff, and T-Fresh on the right side will also be skipping some things. I think he will also use the moon totem, but you'll see a cool skip that T-Fresh does sort of later here, but it already starts out with a triple jump from T-Fresh, and Chimkin is going to get on this moon totem and jump over the wall, and now we can start to skip massive amounts of the story here.
Yeah, so Chimkin's main job is to skip a lot of the story sections, while T-Fresh there's a lot of purple bricks kind of just scattered around in this world, so T-Fresh is able to go around and just pick up a lot of like straggling bricks that are just kind of all over the place, while Chimkin's gonna kind of get bricks and try to get through all the story sequences by using the moon totem, just skip over a lot of it. And by the way,
Yep.
all these moon totems buildable because of early bricks they got in the first world, and then that second world where they went to the shop and was able to purchase the bricks necessary.
Yeah, because you do need materials to build all these, and there isn't really much to do here just besides roll canceling, but once T-Fresh gets over here, well, I think he has another brick to get first, yeah. So now he's going to head back. Chimkin's going to do a little bit of parkour. And he's going to talk to this guy to grab a brick.
And this is kind of a trickier one, a little bit of extra on Chimkin's side to get up that chair.
Yep. And now T-Fresh is gonna put this moon totem down, gonna get onto this wall. He's gonna come over here, which is a place he should not be. And this green wall just doesn't have collision, and you can just walk inside of it and grab the brick.
And now T-Fresh is at the brick loader just waiting for Chimkin to get the last one here. So I think that was a fairly good split right there.
Yeah, that was
able to
pretty
get all
cleanly executed.
16 without really any mistakes that were
but this is the last split here now. Ceremony is what it is called. Basically, this is the whole objective of the game, is just to beat this split. But it's going to start off with just a bunch of movement tech, essentially. Already doing the spamming F in a cutscene to attack and move. So that's the very start. And then we're also going to see Chimkin essentially by himself here, because there's not really point in having both players called in, is going to start doing a lot of very advanced movement. So he gets up onto that platform with the triple jump, and he's going to use another triple jump. As you can see, triple jumping and roll canceling pretty much are what make this speedrun so interesting.
So I guess story-wise, this is like the wedding between Batman, like the evil queen, and the goal is to like break up the wedding. And I think at this point Batman's already captured, so they're gonna actually free Batman right here.
Yeah, by fighting these guys, they're gonna free Batman, and that's gonna unlock the grapple gun, as you just saw. The grapple gun is really interesting because it actually lets you grapple onto like literally anything. So you'll see on T-Fresh's screen, he's just going to grapple onto nothing, basically, just the wall. And meanwhile, Chimkin grapples up onto the left side of that bridge. And so the grapple gun unlocks a lot more movement tech, but unfortunately we have it for one split in the entire run. So, you know, only so much you can do with it, but...
Yeah, so what's happening now is there's actually, like, in this specific world, there's a lot of the story portions you actually have to complete to, like, advance. So Chimkin's going through and, like, hitting all the required checkpoints to go through story, while T-Fresh is heading up already towards the top where the cake is. That will, you know, make, that will allow them to, like, kind of immediately get to where they need to be once all the story portion is done on the ground level.
Yeah, and, you know, it'll be a little while until we see it, but there's a cool skip coming up again with the Ultra Kitty at the top, so be on the lookout for that. Until then, there'll be a lot of just sort of progressing through the story normally and roll canceling everywhere.
Yeah, really fun puzzle here.
Yeah, I think that you at home could probably figure out how to solve it as well.
Just hit the left bumper.
Now, meanwhile, T-Fresh is going to try and get up to the top of the thing while Chimkin is doing this. I believe in their PV he doesn't make it, but it looks like he did this time.
Yeah, something to mention, I guess. We knew that last split was pretty clean from them. Apparently it was a very, very large gold, so very good last split at, like, the sorting area.
With the exception of a couple things, this run has actually been very solid. Okay, so we get another purple brick, and you can see T-Fresh is already up here waiting for Chimkin, and so he's going to just get a little bit ahead of Chimkin from that, which, again, I believe they don't get that in their PV.
Actually, considering that that's their second goal of the run, maybe this has world record potential, actually. Maybe.
I have no idea.
I don't have the timer, so I don't actually know. But...
Okay, but so this is an interesting skip. So we're going to put the Ultra Kitty on this fan, and I think this also went a little awry in their PV.
Yeah, they got stuck. Ideally, you get a ton of movement up the fan during this cutscene. So, actually, yeah, able to get the movement
that
this time.
That looks perfect. Yeah, that looks like that went perfectly. So now we're on top of the,
okay, yeah,
I don't know, tower.
So actually, a big thing to mention in this section, so they're about to sequence break here a couple platforms from now. Like one part, and it sequence breaking one part up here completely, like,
it's right here,
destroys the game, so the kill plane doesn't actually move up with them. So falling down any point from here on out is, and you don't actually die, you just are gonna have to do all the parkour to get up again. So falling down from this point on is really punishing, so it's important. So
he's gonna put another one of these down as well. This is kind of annoying because, you know, you don't have much space to place the objects. He's gonna put a moon totem down as well, and then he's gonna jump from this.
Just give him enough height to grapple here, the ledge.
Yeah, the grapple, and then this should get him up.
Oh no!
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
He didn't fall
very bad,
very far. So
again, as Sinor alluded to, this is very, very risky, and that should be better.
There it is.
Yeah,
okay.
nice. So now we have this dolphin with a clock on
another
him.
triple jump here.
and we're gonna jump around the dolphin. And we are getting close to the very, very top here. He's gonna have to build one more thing. I believe it's just one moon totem. Not sure.
And yeah,
how
you
he's
should be able to
place it
grapple
there.
from here.
Yep.
Oh,
So he's gonna need to jump, and he's gonna need to grapple.
there we go, and made
In
it
the
to the
middle
top
of
of the
this jump.
cage. So any risk of falling is basically over now, and this is the end of the run here, so the time will be relatively soon. The goal here is to move like the balls into the like positions which will break open the force field at the heart, and then breaking the
And
heart
then you
essentially
can just
stops
break
the
the heart.
wedding, and that would be the final time when they break the heart.
That's when time ends. That's right.
All right,
So we're putting
now,
the balls into place here, and now we have to.
all we need to do is break the heart, and that will be time.
The heart. Okay.
All right,
This is kind
and
of
there it is, time.
That's time. Jesus.
EG. That is a 35,
So this is where it gets weird.
24.
All wrapped
I'm
up,
sure we
right?
can consult the.
Yeah,
Their
I wonder
timer
if
to see exactly what. Well,
yeah, we'll see what if that is.
if you're
record or-
curious, that's a massive record.
Yeah.
By about a minute and a half. I was pretty sure that was going to happen because once they got up there, they were like a minute and a half out of it. But yeah, so that's honestly, that was a pretty clean run. I mean, we saw a couple, like, the thing about this game is you can always fall off of random collision and everything's very slippery, but with the actual execution of the skips, I mean, they were very clean. You can tell that a lot of practice went into this, and it's definitely one of the coolest co-op runs to watch because there's so much going on at once. Yeah, that's congratulations on the new world record to Chimkin and T-Fresh. Very well done.
That traveled down a different timeline. So in Rex's version,
Yeah, that was a really solid run.
Yeah, we saved like 23 seconds to sob and 3 golds to end that run. So
boy turned
that's pretty good.
He was
It was a 90-second world record.
forced to watch others play with
Huge congrats
Kind
on
of
that.
insane. Yeah, I was not expecting that at all.
Neither was I.
Almost had a disaster when T-Fresh fell off of the cloud. I'm very glad you now fall all the way down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those jumps are pretty tricky.
Or actually, I don't know who was doing it.
I think that was Chimkin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
Anyway, yes. Almost blame T-Fresh for that mistake. Yeah, good job, guys. Very fun to watch.
Yeah, it's fun to do.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, it was a fantastic run. Does anybody have any other thoughts or comments they want to give?
Don't think
Shout
so.
out to the Lego Movie 2 community.
Shout out to
Very big
Bacon.
community.
Yeah, Bacon
Shout out to
Soda
Bacon
is
Soda.
does.
Shout out Bacon Soda. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Older
does all
and
this
older.
stuff by himself without a second player, and it's pretty insane. His runs for this. So shout out
And
to
I'd
him.
definitely say, if you guys think this game is cool, I'd recommend checking out the 100% co-op record. It's like way cooler. Now, there's obviously like a lot of like boring stuff because it's 100%, but yeah, it's cool to see all the deployment in action and the optimization. I mean, co-op record is like an hour faster than solo record, I think. So you can imagine. It's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think that's it.
Yeah. Shout out to Saber, who's going to be doing LCW2 next.
Yeah, make sure to tune in. That is one of the coolest runs you will see. Very, very fun.
Unfortunately for Rex, he
Yeah, and thank you all so much, and huge congrats on the world record. Fantastic run, y'all.
could never have